Let's dive right into this explainer and unpack a modern paradox that's probably, well, keeping a lot of you up at night. You're earning a decent living, maybe even a really great salary, but you still feel financially stretched incredibly thin. It's confusing, right? I mean, you did everything you were supposed to do, you played by all the rules, yet the math just isn't mathing. So why does making more money suddenly feel like you actually have less? It's intensely frustrating. You work hard, you secure that promotion, you finally hit that major salary milestone you've been chasing for years, and somehow you're still barely keeping your head above water. Every single month feels like this exhausting race to the first. And listen, this isn't just a personal failing on your part. It's a systemic reality hitting the modern workforce harder than ever before. We need to accept the reality of what we call the high income illusion. The old American dream formula, getting a high-paying job, buying a comfortable house, and just coasting easily into retirement, well, that's fundamentally broken in today's economy. A good salary on its own simply no longer guarantees financial security. Wages really haven't kept pace with the true cost of living, creating this illusion of wealth that totally masks the deeper, more complex financial currents actively pulling at our wallets every single day. Section 1. Modern Costs and Hidden Traps. Now, what's really interesting here is how Americans face this death by 1,000 cuts every single month through these invisible financial drains. Think about subscription culture. It starts with, say, $10 for streaming, $15 for a fitness app, cloud storage, software. Suddenly, you're passively bleeding hundreds of dollars a month just for the privilege of existing digitally. Then comes lifestyle inflation. As your income creeps up, your tastes miraculously get way more expensive to match. Add in the crushing weight of modern student or consumer debt, plus historically soaring housing costs. Yeah, you can quickly see how a massive chunk of a so-called good salary just vanishes before it ever really hits a savings account. And this brings us to the core of the problem, the widening gap between basic needs and modern lifestyle expectations. The baseline cost of participating in modern society has completely artificially inflated what we actually consider a basic necessity. Think about it. A smartphone, high-speed internet, monthly gym memberships, streaming services, even meal deliveries. These used to be considered absolute luxuries. Today, they are entirely baked into our basic expectations, making our perceived basic needs incredibly expensive just to maintain an average existence. Moving on to Section 2, the comparison trap. The crushing weight of social media comparison turns luxury into a baseline expectation. Man, think about how easy it is to feel inadequate when our digital feeds are perpetually flooded with these curated premium lifestyles. When you are constantly scrolling past peers driving the newest cars, taking exotic vacations, and dining at five-star restaurants, it totally warps your sense of normal. Modern consumerism artificially inflates our perception of an average lifestyle, literally psychologically tricking you into feeling broke if you aren't keeping up, even if on paper you're actually doing completely fine. Let's head into Section 3, income versus ownership. Okay, let's slow things down for a second and pivot to absolutely the most important paradigm shift of this entire explainer. True wealth is the accumulation of assets that buy back your time and freedom, rather than just relying on a high monthly paycheck. High income is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but it is deeply vulnerable. If you stop working, well, the income stops. Wealth, on the other hand, is quiet. Wealth is freedom. Wealth is waking up on a Tuesday and knowing your time belongs entirely to you. All because your assets are doing the heavy lifting in the background, paying your bills without your active labor. So there is a stark difference between income and ownership. Income is what you earn to survive today. Ownership is what you build to secure tomorrow. Relying on a high income alone is actually a massive trap if you aren't actively converting a portion of it into ownership. Things like index funds, real estate, or business assets. If you spend literally 100% of your high income on maintaining a high-end lifestyle, you aren't truly wealthy. You're simply a highly paid consumer, completely dependent on the next paycheck to sustain the whole facade. All right, Section 4, modern wealth building habits. To shift from chronic financial stress to long-term wealth intelligence, we absolutely need actionable habits. Step 1, audit your subscription culture and lifestyle inflation. Be ruthless about what actually brings you value versus what is just a mindless recurring charge. Step 2, shift your focus from looking rich to building real assets. Seriously, stop buying things that depreciate the exact second you swipe your card or drive them off the lot. And step 3, prioritize long-term ownership over short-term consumerism. Every single dollar you save and invest is a little piece of your future time that you are officially buying back. Because ultimately, time and freedom are infinitely greater than financial stress. When you finally stop playing the unwinnable high-income consumer game and start playing the ownership game, that suffocating anxiety actually begins to fade. The goal isn't just to accumulate high numbers on a screen, right? The goal is to systematically reduce your financial anxiety so you can actually enjoy your life, your family, and your free time. It's about building an absolute fortress around your peace of mind. So, as we wrap this up, I want you to ask yourself honestly, are you building a lifestyle or are you building freedom? How you answer that single question will dictate exactly how you manage your salary tomorrow and ultimately whether you'll ever truly feel wealthy in this modern economy. If you're ready to master these habits and actually build that freedom, make sure to subscribe to WealthOS for more modern wealth intelligence and financial education. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.